trying to work their way back to a third consecutive Final Four, and the Bruins certainly doing it in style. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz, glad to be with you, breaking down some of the best college basketball games each and every week here on CBSSports.com and all over the CBS Audience Network. And it's USC, a slow 1-3 conference start, traveling crosstown to take on number 4 UCLA, a game that you can see on CBS. And for more, we bring in CBS Sports' Clark Kellogg from Columbus. And Clark, you look at this game, you got a team in USC, extremely young, very talented, but very young, and they're going into Pauley Pavilion against certainly one of the best defenses in the nation.
On paper, a recipe for disaster if you're USC. We'll see how it unfolds. But when you talk about UCLA, it starts at the defensive end with their ability to put pressure on the basketball, and that starts with Darren Collison. He is an outstanding all-around point guard, but he really excels at disrupting the opposing team's point guard with constant ball pressure. And then the rest of the perimeter guys, Jason, can really do a good job of locking up their individual men. They do it with quickness, they do it with positioning, and they do it with tenacity. They're active with their hands and feet and do a nice job taking away what other teams really want to try to do offensively.
And one of the best teams at steals in the nation, as they have been the last couple years under Ben Holland. On the other side, offensively, you've got one of the best freshmen in the nation, certainly been publicized, Kevin Love, very special big man, reigning Pac-10 Player of the Week. What do you like most about his game?
Well, I would go with 3 H's. I like his hands, his head, and his heart. He's got terrific hands. That cannot be taught. His head, he thinks and understands and knows the game from the standpoint of being a post presence, offensively especially. And then his heart. He's a tremendous competitor. He's always battling at both ends of the floor. And when you combine that with his size and his other tools, he's really exactly what UCLA needed to help them be a more balanced offensive team.
Yeah, that offensive presence in the middle, something they really didn't have last year. As for USC, Clark, we talked a little bit about their youth. They're getting 96% of the scoring from freshmen or sophomores, and it's easy to see that happening when you lose your top 3 scorers from a year ago. But when you look at Mayo and Gibson and Hackett and Lewis, do they play like freshmen and sophomores for that matter?
They have been, and you've got to expect some vacillation in performance when you're talking about young players. I don't care how talented they are or how hyped they've been. When you get into conference play, when teams really scout you and try to take away what it is that you do well and expose your weaknesses, it's going to always be tough for young players. And they've had a tough time finding rhythm offensively. I watched them against Washington State last week. They really struggle with turnovers and being able to consistently get good shots against a really good defensive team, and that very well could be a problem for them against UCLA.
Yeah, they're only scoring 68 points a game this season, which is only down 3 points from last year, but it seemed last year that they were a much better, more fluid offensive team. Clark, the two teams meeting for the 224th time. More recently, UCLA, they won 5 of 6. Hard to believe they're meeting for the 224th time, but who do you like on Saturday?
I've got to go with UCLA. I really think they're one of the top 4 teams in the country. They've gone through a few injury bumps, but they seem like they have just about all of their key people healthy and playing at a high level. I like UCLA to prevail.
Yeah, I like UCLA in this one as well. All right, Clark Kellogg, stay right there. More previews here on CBSSports.com. Thank you very much, sir.
Yep.
Folks, again, you can see the game on CBS. Tip-off 3:30 p.m. Eastern. For more on this game or any other this weekend, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com or watch everything else all over the CBS Audience Network. With Clark Kellogg, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care.